Welcome to yet another episode of Just Ask Cher Live. And I am excited about today's episode because guess what? I remembered the timer. Look at that. Right in the beginning of the show. No, I haven't pressed the magic button to keep me counting down, to keep me accountable to you, but I'm going to do that right now. And speaking of accountability, I have an incredible strategy. If you ever have had, let me press that button so I can stay focused on you. That's right. If you have ever had to you've ever had the challenge of having some part of your reputation that you are not absolutely proud of. Perhaps you're known for being late, or maybe you used to have a hot temper and that's something that you're working on, or you're disorganized, you have bad time management, or you haven't been able to effectively lead a team, and people know it. You can't run from it, but you can fix it. Well, in this episode of Just Ask Cher, we are talking about reputation damage control. And we are going to I'm going to dive into a strategy that you can use to help you as you continue to repair your reputation. And once you're committed to that, and a lot of people, brand new year or whatever, blah, 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 they're thinking about, well, how can I fix the things that people think about me? And it all means action at the end of the day, if we're really being honest. But at the same time, if you are leveraging social media in the right way, not only are you taking action to build and create this new part of you that you want to improve, you can bring people in and it can work for you. So I'm going to break down exactly how to do that while keeping yourself accountable to the goals that you set for yourself. So these strategies really work as long as you do the work. So I want you to stay tuned for that as well. My scroll stopper this week, I'm loving it because it is so simple and easy to produce and it just gets noticed. I mean, for those of you who watch week after week, you guys know that scroll stoppers are all about whatever stop my thumb. So keep posted for that. And of course, I'm interested. I want to know who is Team Live, who's watching right now live as I'm talking in the moment. And if you're watching a little later on today, you, my friends, are Team Replay. But either way, I love both of my teams. Also, let me know if you're watching on Twitter or on Facebook, because I always jump in after to respond to the tweets, respond to the comments, no matter whether they are on LinkedIn, which is the main broadcast channel, or on some of my other channels as well. So, and YouTube. Don't forget you YouTubers, I'm watching you and I go in and I respond to all your comments, all your questions. I mean, come on, the show is called Just Ask Cher Live. So that means you can ask me live or in the replay. So let me know in the comments. I love to see who is watching. And if you are watching me for the first time, wondering who this girl is, my name is Cher Jones, and I am a corporate social media trainer, and I focus on helping people develop their personal brands and use social media at work for work. So everything I talk about is helping you become that corporate rock star, helping you become that entrepreneur who works directly with corporate. So whether you're a consultant, a freelancer, and you are in the corporate space, I'm your girl. I work with teams as well as individuals. So anytime you have any questions about this, again, just ask Cher. That's what I'm here for. But each week, every Tuesday at 3:30, I deliver the goods. That's 3:30 Eastern Standard Time if you want to catch this live. And of course, always Team Replay. So I'm going to jump in right now just to make sure everybody is watching and I'm actually broadcasting. You never know. I assume that I am. And then all of my phone will tell me, yes, I'm live. Woohoo! This is, you guys don't know. For those of you who are not livers yet, you know already that this stuff, it's like the technology, you just have to faith, right? You just got to have faith that it works. And then you figure it out later if it didn't. It's all good. Okay? And finally, those of you who are thinking about creating video, tap that app, baby. That is this one. This Tap That app, 2-piece, you are definitely going to want to stick around for that because I am going to share with you a tool, software that I bet 90% of the people watching right now already have on their computer And it's like software, awesome video creation software in plain sight that's there that you didn't even know existed. And what I like about it is you don't necessarily have to be on camera for this video creation. And on top of that, for those of you who have been diving into creating stories, it's similar to that because you can do it in chunks at a time. So if I talk about it anymore, I'm going to give it away. But my friends, you got to stay tuned. So thank you guys so much for watching. And now I'm going to just jump in. Oh, I see Troy. I can't remember what that show is. I see Troy. I see Dila. I see Simone. I see Sonia all coming in for Team Live. I see, Blacks Inspire. Mwah. Hey girl, how you doing? I see Tiffany. Oh man, Tiffany, I haven't seen you in a while. This is awesome. Richard, David, Misha, hello guys. Thank you guys all for joining me live. I appreciate that. And those of you watching on the replay, it is all good. I love it either way. So I'm going to dive right in because I want to keep it moving, stay accountable. But the one thing that I want to know, is there an area of your professional reputation that you want to improve? Come on. Everybody here should be saying yes. So if you are saying yes, give me that thumbs up right now. Tap that thumbs up button. And if you're cool with your reputation, you like where it's at, this is your reputation. There's other things you could probably do, but we're talking about your rep. So let me know. And if you're good with where you're at, give yourself a hand. Give yourself some applause. But I hope to see more of these because that's what this show is all about. Repairing that, or whether it's a restoration of a brand, of a personal brand, of a reputation at work, or whether it's nobody even knows that you have these skills. You can, if you're one of those people kind of hiding in the shadows and it's time to get out there, it's time to showcase those leadership skills, it's kind of time to showcase the skills that you've been building for a while, the tips I'm sharing today will help you as well. But again, my disclaimer for all of you guys is this doesn't work unless you do the work. This is like personal branding. Personal branding is something that it could be marketing in the sense that you can make yourself look really good, but if it's empty and soulless and it doesn't represent the person that walks in the door, it's nothing. It means nothing. So let me just dive into the comments once again to see what y'all are saying. And sometimes I don't get all the comments live. So let's just see in here. Thank you, Andy. Andy is my LinkedIn trainer brother in arms. He produces, if you guys are not following Andy, please check him out. I'm one of those LinkedIn trainers. Andy is too. There's more than enough business to go around. So I will hail up my brother, and I definitely do because Andy is awesome. So thank you for the shout out, Andy. I appreciate it. Bertina, who always shows up for me. I appreciate you as well. Whitney, Team Live, thank you so much. Daniel, yes. Maria, you are finally Team Live. I love you guys, whether you're watching replay or live. I love that you guys want to be here live. I think that's amazing. And I appreciate you. And Chad, Team Live, he is also one of my live OGs. He's been around from day one, and I appreciate you for showing up as well. Okay, so guys, as we continue getting out there, that yes, if you want to repair the reputation, I got some skills, I got some tricks, I got some tips. So let's dive right into it. Okay. So first things first, reputation repair, right? And this, what I believe, it's funny, I got this, I was just watching Ronell. He has an incredible, Ronell Richards, for those of you who don't know him, Google him, look him up on LinkedIn, you'll find him. Anyways, he just put out a podcast around how African Americans were making amazing soul food out of scraps. And I kind of see this, and the one thing that came to me was lemons out of lemonade, or lemonade out of lemons, right? Because lemonade was a popular drink, and it still is. Name that hip hop song. There's two. Anyways, but back to what I'm saying is you can take that bad reputation, that quality that people know you about, and turn it around, leveraging social media, again, as long as you do the work. So the first thing that I have as a tip is concerned is before we even step back into my tips, make sure you know what it is that you are clear and committed to change. Because you can't just, post this up and expect people to believe you if you are not actually living the change. Okay. Or else you're just marketing yourself. You're not creating a brand that people believe, know, like, and trust. What you will create is a brand of a liar, right? Because you're going to be posting, you see this all the time, people posting stuff about working out, and then they in diet, and they're doing these things, and then you see them in real life, and maybe they don't reflect the work that they're putting out there. And this is no judgment. I feel bad about using that example, but all the same is if someone's talking a good game, but when they show up, it doesn't reflect what they were talking about, now you brand yourself a liar. So don't do that. Be committed. And the first thing that I'm going to suggest you do is follow and curate content that will help you improve the very thing it is that you want to improve about yourself. Because once you know where this content is coming from, you're learning, but then it will help you in the sense of the fact, into my next tip, right, is being able to actively get involved in that community of people who are sharing that type of content. You can start commenting about your own journey, because now people in your network is going to start to see that, right? They can start to see that this is something that you're working on. And if you show up regularly with the comments, because we know how, especially LinkedIn, we know how it works. You comment on something, someone in your network is going to see it, right? It's not your whole network, by the way, but there will be people who are paying attention to you, who are paying attention to you, and they'll start to see your activity, and they'll start to see that alignment. And also you get to get tips directly from some of the content creators or posters or thought leaders who are putting this stuff out to help you. Right? So what this appears to be is you generally getting out there and doing your research on what it is that you are trying to improve about yourself, whether it's your leadership skills, whether it's your interpersonal skills, whether it's time management, all that stuff. It's all good. Temper, whatever you need to figure out and improve, this is what you are looking for. So you are constantly in a stage of learning to improve yourself, and you're actually being public about it in a good way. All right, so here's where it gets interesting. Here's where you start to share your journey. So whether you are curating that content, or you are actually creating content that reflects it. And I'm not talking about thought leadership. Actually, that's my next point. Spoiler alert. But what I'm talking about here is sharing little bits and pieces. So for example, if time management was your thing, you could share a screenshot of your alarm system on your phone and talking about, hey, I'm trying out this new way to make sure that I show up to every meeting on time. And here's what I'm doing, right? So you're showing, and you could talk, and then you could ask your audience, do you have any ideas? Because that's one thing that I'm improving this year is I am dedicated, and you have to speak about it in a positive way as opposed to saying, I am the worst, I never show up on time. Like, you don't want to give people the wrong message, but you want to give the message of improvement. So be careful how you word your journey. Always be in progress. Always, it's all about progress here. So be careful with your language, but you can start to share that. And when you're starting to share your tips, people are seeing that. And then they'll also take notice at work. They'll also start to see, oh my gosh, and they'll actually reward you in person. Because they may see you online, they see your efforts, you're sharing content, you're sharing your journey through content, and all of a sudden they're beginning to believe the hype. And that's exactly what you want. So that's important. And then the next thing that we want to talk about as well is, and this is, I think I have one more after that. Yes, create thought leadership. So this is when you've been moving along the way, people are starting to notice that change in you. This is where you can pull back. And when I say thought leadership, I'm saying more the in-depth, not the on-the-fly content as you're sharing as your journey, your comments and all that stuff. I'm talking taking a step back to create a video or a long format blog post or a document graphic series where you're sharing your tips, your best tips. Like, for example, you dedicated the last 6 months to making sure that you are on time for every single meeting if that was your issue. Right? Now, here are the top 6 tips that I used. And you can create a graphic. You can create, again, a blog post, a video, all 3. Get on someone's live. So again, back to the curating and following people who are creating content that's relevant to this. You can go pitch yourself. And there's a lot of people in my network who actually coach people on getting on podcasts where they can talk about their experience. And if it's the right podcast, now all of a sudden, you've been given a bigger platform. And what you're doing is you're sharing your journey, but you're also creating that thought leadership. So that more in-depth thought leadership. And then pitching yourself to other people's podcasts or other people's lives also brings me to my last point, is building relationships with it. So building relationships with that outward approach of putting yourself out there, putting the right content, curating and replying to stuff. You're building relationships with people who are, and I've mentioned this all throughout because this is what being social is about. It is about relationships. Can I get a witness? Like what? Give me a thumbs up or whatever. But that is what you want to make sure that you're doing, is building relationships. So let me go a little deeper into that building relationship strategy so you get what I mean by that. I believe that you can have conversations with people who need to know that you are doing this. So perhaps it's an accountability partner that happens to be a strategic choice. So maybe there's someone in leadership that you have a close enough relationship that they already are aware that you have this issue that you're trying to repair. And then what you can do is just share with them some of the journey that you've shared publicly. Because, sorry guys, I'm like dry mouth, and that is not good. So they may not see the content because that's the other thing, is you can't guarantee that the right people are going to see the content all the time just because they're connected with you. So you can send them a DM. You can show them. So send them a DM with a link to what you posted. Get their feedback. You can also, when you are developing your performance plan, you can say, I am going to keep myself accountable for this in a bigger way. I'm going to use my LinkedIn presence as a part of that. And again, it's all strategic. It's all about the progress. So I'm going to jump right now into the comments. I want to see what you guys are thinking about this. Liberty says, Happy New Year. And yes, my LinkedIn Live fam, I love it. Keith says, I have a unique set of skills. Smile. I will smile. See, there we go. All right. And Florence is actually here. It's been so long since she's seen the live show, and I appreciate you, Florence. And people first, relationships first. I hear you, Daniel, and I appreciate it. And Maria's saying she's loving the accountability partnerships. Yes, so powerful in how we can do that. And then Yolanda's asking, love the countdown clock. Helps me to know my time of commitment. Exactly. I try really hard to maintain committed. I have yet to totally get down to 30 minutes. I'm averaging about 36 minutes a show. And today actually I was kind of thinking, do I make it 40? But no, 30 minutes is a good time, and I'm forcing myself every day to every show to get down to that 30 minutes. So thank you so much for that feedback. I appreciate that. And let's see, Elizabeth, so great to be here. It has been forever. It's a brand new year. This is all good. I love the fact that you're here live with me, and I appreciate that. So guys, these are my tips, and I hope you find them useful. So next up, and let me know if you found it useful. Give me any one of those emojis. I'll take them. I take them all. I love them. I love seeing the explosion. It's all good. So I appreciate that. And also, we are moving on from reputation repair onto my scroll stopper. But before we do that, I want to remind you or give you a preview of what's coming up. See that guide right there? Yeah, that girl right there. I created a guide. It's almost finished. I'm doing the finishing touches on my personal branding gear guide. It's all the things that I use to create content to build my brand, and not just the apps that I talk about in the show. I link to my mic, my lights, everything, my cameras, all that stuff. And people are always asking me the programs I use to broadcast, the programs I use to edit, all that good stuff. Because I test this stuff because I'm a little bit of a nerd. Just a little bit. And I wanted to make sure that you guys know about that too. So I've created that guide, and I bet you're asking, well, Cher, how do I get that guide? Well, my friends, let me show you exactly how to get that guide. You go right to just.share.com. You'll see this landing page right now and get on my A-list, because it's my A-listers. Those are the ones who you guys get it first. And that's what I'm really putting this out there, is you guys are going to get it first. You guys deserve it because you guys show up every week. You support me, and I appreciate that. So that's what's happening right now. But on to the scroll stopper. So far, I'm doing good for time. And this year's, what am I about this year again? Anyways, this week's scroll stopper is brought to you by the daily sales account. And this is actually a business account, and they have over 543,000 followers, and they're out of London, and they are an absolute delight when they show up in my newsfeed. And I always laugh because they always have fun content. I don't know if anybody else follows them, but definitely follow them if you are in sales, even if you're not. But I saw this one piece of content that made me stop my thumb. So if those of you who are wondering what the heck is a scroll stopper, it's anything that makes me go, hey, that caught my attention. And what I do is I break down why it caught my attention and how you can use it no matter what industry you're in. So let's pop in right now to what caught my attention. So what we're looking, this is like such a basic post, but guys, don't be afraid to use it. So I love it because what we're seeing here is your whole presentation, your whole approach online doesn't always have to be serious. Memes work, and this has a professional context to it. So don't be afraid to use memes. All right. So next up, we're seeing like the before. And then we see the after, and you see obviously same guy, but now he's bawling. So salespeople before commission, salespeople after commission. It just made me smile. And the contrast is so stark. And before and after results are so easy to do. It's so easy, and you get to show results on that. So whether it's a joke, and you have to, with the meme style of post, there has to be a little bit of tongue in cheek, a little funny to it. Because again, like I said, why so serious, right? We want to make people smile. That's another touch point on your brand. So feel this out. And what was cool about this one is obviously there's a pop culture, or maybe not so obvious, because pop culture references are not obvious to anybody, to everybody, but they're obvious to those that they're obvious to. And this actor right here, he is, so on the left, the very poor man there, this is from Game of Thrones. And I don't know the movie that is from after. So if you guys know the placement, I thought about faking the funk and pretending like I knew where it was from. I'm sure it doesn't look unfamiliar. I just don't know where. Anyways, so if you know the movie for the after, let me know in the comments. But the before is definitely, he was like a high priest of the Seven of Scepters or whatever on Game of Thrones. And so, yeah, really interesting, really fun, really easy to do. So take this. Try creating a meme that works. That before and after thing is so easy to do. Use pop culture, right? Movies, videos, before and after, all that stuff. It works. Have fun. It'll get a lot of comments because this one certainly did. So within 1 hour, it has a huge following, but within 1 hour, they had like 447 reactions to it. So I think it's pretty good. Anyways. On to the next. Before I let you go out of there, if you ever want to make sure you don't miss a post, just in your search bar, type in Just Ask Cher, hashtag Just Ask Cher, and then hit the follow button. So it says following, just like what we see here, so that you're following. And guess what? Your chances of being notified that I'm broadcasting increase. So that's always a good thing. And so far, I'm loving the fact that I'm on time. Okay, can I keep it that way? Let's see. All right, so tap that app. Guys, I have never been so, well, that's a lie. Anyways, I'm super excited about this particular app because it is something that most of you already have. And it is so easy to create video content with, especially if you don't feel like being on camera. You can be on camera with this and you can edit it in and all that stuff, but this is an incredible way to create video content. Maybe you want to create that thought leadership of that brand repair, that reputation repair that you're doing, but let me show you. So let's dive right in here. All right, so what you're seeing right now is like a PowerPoint screen. So yes, I am talking about PowerPoint right now, but did you know that you can create video inside your PowerPoint? Okay, so this, what I did is I just pulled up one of my thousands or hundreds of PowerPoints. And so what you're going to see is that with this PowerPoint that I've created, and remember, guys, this is the beauty of it, is you can use animations. You can use animations and little tricks and pictures and all that stuff. But the cool thing is, let me jump back in. The cool thing is you can record it. So with PowerPoint, you can record not only your screen, but you can also record your PowerPoint slide by slide by slide. So this is what you have to press right here is hit slideshow to get to this menu, and then it will say record slideshow. And the cool thing about it is when you are recording, it will only record slide by slide. So it's in the moment. And I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. But why I like it is I get a lot of people who are shy about doing video, and then I get on stories because it's only like 15 seconds or less at a time. Same with this, while it doesn't control you as far as the length of time per slide, you can do one slide at a time. And here's where it gets really interesting. So let's take a look. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you hit in and you get into recording. So the first thing that I want you to see is up at the top here, you see the record button, right? Then you can watch the replay just to see how it looked. And if you didn't like it, you can record again. Okay, here's the next part. When you are recording, you can type in the notes section. It will show up, but it won't show up on the record, which is awesome. So if you needed some help, some tricks, some ideas, you can type it in the notes, and then it's kind of like your own teleprompter that no one gets to see. And then finally, way at the bottom, if you had a mic, so a better quality mic, you can select which mic you're going to use. You can also, you'll see it, you can use your webcam, and it will put a little square of you down at the bottom. And also with PowerPoint, what you may not know as well is you can record your screen. So if you are online and you want to show something on a website, you can record your screen as well. Curious, what are you guys thinking about that? Was that not epic? And you already own it. So I'm thinking that's pretty cool. So again, PowerPoint, you own it, leverage it, play with it. You don't have to post it. You just got to use it. So try it. And again, if you are a little bit self-conscious of being on camera, this is a great way to record your voice. And again, using animations, don't get too crazy with it. Use animations and it will look awesome. So I'm going to jump in right now, see what you guys are saying. Oh my gosh. Yes, memes. So wow, you guys are so awesome. Okay. Collaboration is the new power. I agree with you, George. Deborah says hi. She hasn't been able to join for a long time. I appreciate you. And Maria's finding this very useful. And people do love authenticity. So back from the previous one that we were talking about around repairing your reputation. People love that. And memes, people love that. Looks like, maybe Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, Monique, I think you're right. So that's back from the memes thing. Okay. Fun is great. Life is too short not to use comics in business. I love it. Yes, I do. Super untapped. That's right. Tap that app. And this one is super untapped. So I want to make sure you're using it. Gregory says, great job. Thank you, Gregory. And is the app called PowerPoint? Yes, it is. So sometimes in my Tap That app, I find things that are not quite apps, but yes, they are apps because on your computer now, it's kind of like, it's like a little icon to get through it. So it's technically a program, but Today it is, so it's not actually an app. It's like your program. It's like your Microsoft Word and your PowerPoint. I'm talking like old school to new school PowerPoint. So hope that helps. And, but yeah, a lot of people have never tried to do this. And I experimented with it because I never recommend something I haven't used. So I experimented with it, and it's pretty easy to create some really good videos. And you could download it as one full video. Then if you want to chop it up and put in some more video in there or whatever, it's really cool. And it gets you into that graphic mode without even having to, think about it too hard, because you can do your own little graphics with PowerPoint. So hope you're using that. So my question for you right now, as I have 0 time left, guys, give me like 5 minutes. I promise. Let me move that rude slide out of there. 5 minutes or less, but I do promise that I just want to know, do you guys see yourself using PowerPoint to create videos? Yes or no? Let me know. That thumbs up meaning yes. Clap meaning, nah, I'm good, thanks though. So let me know in the comments below. And as well, let's see. If you guys have questions, I want to remind you that I will answer all of them after the show, promise. And of course, that I want to let you know that if you don't already know, sharing is caring, my friends. So make sure when you're done watching this video, tap that share button, share it with a friend. I bet you somebody in your network needs to repair their reputation. Somebody needs to. But maybe someone needs to make some videos. So yes, just to clarify, this PowerPoint technique is the official PowerPoint. It's what most people have. Not all you. I know there's a lot of Mac folk out there, and some of you guys do even still. But yes, I'm talking PowerPoint. So leverage this tool, try it out. It's really awesome. And Whitney says, I had to use PowerPoint for client projects. Yes, oftentimes there's a lot of clients, especially if you're in Macworld, you have to cross over sometimes, so that's okay. And it is, yes, part of the suite of Microsoft PowerPoint 365. So enjoy it, guys. Coming up next, I have a series that I'm looking forward to dropping. So I'm going to keep that on the hush, but it's going to be good. It's going to help you build your brand, of course, as always. And I'm just going to give you a few tips along the way of doing that, because that's what I do every single week. So I wanted to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. Whoops, there I am. Look at me, but that's not where we want to go yet. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, if you guys, so now let's go to the me again. If you guys want to make sure that you are on my A-list, go to justaskcher.com to make sure you're there. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to connect with me, because I'm always here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.